What's going on, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another episode of Elude Stalwart playing ArcheAge. Today we're going to be running on Elude Stalwart. He's our, what is he? A Battle Rage novice? I don't know what spec, I think that is his spec. I don't know what race this guy is then. What race is he? I'd like to know so I can properly introduce him. Repentant Shadows? That's the nation. Yeah, I don't know where to find that out. He's one of those dudes. He's like a Warborn or something like that. But yeah, Elude Stalwart. We last left off running the Trash to Treasure mission. We got to collect slime mucus, so I assume that means destroying the slime here. So we'll just get right into it. Now, I just recently switched to Sword and Shield before I logged off previously, and just trying to get used to the rotation. Not really much of a difficult rotation from the looks of it so far, but we just got the Farmer's Coin Purse. What is that about? Oh, we've got a bunch of these. Spend 1 labor to open the pouch. Oh, okay. Spend 2 labor to open this pouch. So labor is definitely a thing. We've got 104 labor currently. I think I'm going to chill with that for a moment and just quest for a while. Alright, we're going to shield bash, and then we're going to use this attack into that attack. I should learn the names of these abilities. I start off with Charge. It's a Battle Rage talent. It's or skill. It's rank 2. And it's got a 12-yard range, or 12-meter range. Then I follow up with the Shield Slam. So let's read the text for these. Charge towards an enemy dealing 142 melee damage. Inflict snare on the target, preventing them from moving or turning for 5 seconds. Oh, that's actually kind of useful to know. If I charge them, I can get behind them for that first 5 seconds, which may open up to more abilities later on. But I usually, it says at the bottom that this combos. It combos with, deals an additional plus 26 damage to slowed targets. So if I can already have a target slowed and I charge them, then I get 26% increased damage. It stuns targets for 2.5 seconds as an additional effect. So does that mean if they're already slowed and I charge them, I'll do 26% increased damage plus tripping and stunning them? I'm going to have to find that out. And this is a 12-second cooldown. Also, we have Defense. It's a 3-meter range effect, which is basically melee range, I guess. Melee attack plus 90%. It's an 18-second cooldown. Performs a swift jarring attack with your shield, dealing 186 melee damage up to 20 enemies. So this is like an AoE, maybe a cone effect. Affected enemies are pushed. Grants the caster stack of shield block. With shield block, I get a 15-second buff that increases my shield block rate by 100% for the next 2 attacks. So this is a guaranteed next 2 attack block. And this stacks up to 5 times. So that's kind of good. If I can predict damage coming in, I'll shield slam before I get that damage and block it. This skill can destroy all bond yards within 30 meters, drastically increases aggro. And if I use it as a combo with that trap icon, which is, I think, snare, Yeah, snare. So if I use this in combination with the snare, then I can stagger the snare target for 0.3 seconds. Okay. So this is what that looks like. Charge, shield block. Next two abilities are going to be blocked automatically. And now I can use my Battle Rage Triple Slash. A constant pattern of 3 distinct strikes, dealing 59 physical damage. On the third attack, the skill does 20% more damage and affects all enemies within a 3-meter range. So all enemies within melee range are affected by this. It has no global cooldown, and I can hold it for continuous use. That's interesting. Now, when we combo it, which after we shield block, this becomes a combo, and the first attack against snare targets makes them shaken. So I believe they're still snared if I shield block and then immediately triple slash. So there's a good chance I can shake them or add the shaken effect to them afterwards. The second attack deals 48% additional damage to trip targets. So if they're tripped, I do an increase 48%. And then also increases aggro by 300% if used while under the effect of Toughen. Now, Toughen is a defense ability. This increases continuous health regen by 5, with an additional plus 21 based on stamina. This lasts 10 seconds. Grants 50% of the received damage as stacks of metal. Now, metal, that's probably something I should probably be aware of as well. I want to make this make a little bit more sense. Can I get another stack of action bars? Let's see, UI. Game, camera, shortcut bars. Here we go. First shortcut bar, second shortcut bar. How do I show more shortcut bars? Camera controls, miscellaneous. These are key settings. Game settings. Functionality probably, right? Auto select target when using a skill. Yes, please. Skill deployment location. I don't know what that means. Double tap to dash is good. Camera shake effects. Yeah. Low health warning, sure. Quest dialogue close-ups. Show the quest direction arrows. Always show a loot window. Disable travel through other players' portals. Hide optimizer button. Show default player appearances. Ah, that's interesting. I wonder if that would save on FPS. Max players displayed. Let's bring that down. I know that would save. Here, let's add those because that's probably going to save on a little bit of graphicals. Decline invites. Ignore whispers. Here, apply. Oh, what the deuce? Is this what we actually look like? I don't know about that. Why? Why do I look this way? Alternate? Original? Let's not display. Is that working? I don't know. We look strange. I don't like that. I don't like it. Can we? Well, it's still showing the health. Oh no. We're going back. That looks goofy. Functionality, right? Here, let's not show players' default appearance. There we go. If we got some stuff later on, we'll check that out. But for now, I think we're gonna keep it how we are. Show health stats, mana, buff duration, cast bar, skill combo settings. I'm trying to find a way to enable another bar. That's sound settings. Here we are. Show second shortcut bar. Okay, let's try that. Apply. There it is. Okay, good. So, this is how we're going to do this. And I'm going to rebind this bar here. Anything that's not combat, I'm going to put up on the top bar. Main rotation is going to be on the bottom bar. And then, like, utility slash, like, you know, on the fly moves are going to be on the middle bar. So, let's get the keybind set up properly. This is how I like to bind mine. And if I start out this way while I don't have very many abilities, it'll be natural by the time I'm max level to just kind of like use the moves the way they're intended properly. Now, I don't believe the rotation's going to be similar to like most MMOs, but I'm going to bind it as if it were. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think I go up to 4, 5, but 6, Q, E, R, S, Z, X, and that. Okay. That's like wow. Okay. Now, shortcut bars. Control 1, Control 2, Control 3, Control 4. Instead of Shift, I use Control usually. Yeah, okay. Control 7, Control 8, Control 9, Control 10, that, and that. This one didn't take. Why didn't it do this? Okay, let's try that again because I don't know if that took. No, it didn't. Okay, something's going on with that button. Game keybinds. Go back. Character controls, UI shortcuts. It should be game keybinds, right? Where did it go? Camera, UI shortcuts? Shortcut bars. That's what they're called. Shortcut bars instead of action bars. They're short. Oh, okay. 0. This one's not working. Why doesn't this work? It should work. Huh. I don't know why. Okay, so up here that would be X. So we'll say Control X. And for whatever reason it doesn't want to work with my minus, so I'll do it that way. Must be equipped to use. Alright, so that's for the glider. We're gonna put our mount here. Yeah. Alright, cancel. Blue Strider's 25 said, morning, what's up, Blue Strider? Welcome to the stream. I'm binding my keybinds, doing all my optimization type stuff so I can get dirty. Alright, the third shortcut bar. Is this the second shortcut bar? Okay, so second shortcut bar. Yeah. I think that's that one, right? Yes, it is. Okay. I may actually want... I believe this game has interrupts. If it does, I'm going to bind it as if it does. So, second shortcut. Alright, yeah, like that. That'll probably be my glider, the alt one. And then on to the Fs. 7, 8, oh, 8, 9. Oh, can't do that one. 10. So 8, 10, 11. For whatever reason, I can't make that one. F9 is, I think, screenshot. Because it sounded like it was taking screenshots and it dumped some stuff in my screenshot folder. Okay. I'll probably raise this a little bit. Okay, probably need to. Alright, so this is how I've been doing this. Target myself and kind of position it just based off of the little circle below my character's feet as a guide. Just barely touching. Kind of like that, I suppose, would be fairly even. My target of target, I probably want Probably want like midfield somewhere. We'll do it right there in the middle. Yeah. I realize it's a little lower, maybe a little higher than that. There we go. Just to the right a tad, a smidge. That's a little better. I think that's probably good. I don't know if I like it there. Let's put it down here. Just kind of right there. Yeah, that'll do. Alright, so charge in. Shield bash. This. This. And if we have this ability, defense, this is a 1 minute cooldown. I'm going to put that there. What is this? Dash? I don't think I need dash on my bars. This is melee attack. I don't need that on my bars. Kick, I believe, is worth it. Kick deals 28 damage, knocks back. So maybe this can be an interrupt. I don't know. I'll try to use it as if it were an interrupt. Shoot. Shoot an arrow. Hold for continuous use. I don't know if I'll be shooting a lot, but put recall there. Glide, I was going to put here. We don't have a glider yet, but when we get one. Teleport book we'll put next to recall. I don't know how those are different. Warps you to the last memory tome. So this will take me back to the quest location that I started at. And then this automatically records new locations the first time you visit them. Hereafter, returning to the location. Requires 1 to 3 hereafters. So a teleport scroll utilizes a power. Hereafter stone world gate jumps through to get travel recorded location. 1 hereafter stone contains enough power to send you anywhere on your current continent. 3 can send you to a different continent. Okay, so this is like Hearthstone on steroids. Escape. Teleport you to the nearest respawn point. This is, I guess, stuck. If I get stuck, I'll put that up there for now. Play instrument. Play your instrument. Healing. Okay. I was looking for this. There's no food in this game. It's kind of like Sultor, where you can kind of use like your like recharge ability. That's good. I want to keep that probably right there. So that'll heal me up. Actually, I'm gonna put it on F7, I guess. Probably F5. Where do I want these? Let's put it here. Yeah. That'll be good. Consumables we'll put on 9 and 8, I guess. Shield bash. I think I probably want this one here. Charge there. Yeah. And then this is our get out of jail free card ability. This is drop trade pack. Sets down a trade pack. We'll put that up by escape. Now our buttons make sense. Okay. So, let's continue collecting slime mucus. Hold for continuous use. Look at that. Oh, beautiful. So our ranged ability is pretty useful for just pulling them in close enough for our charge to go off. I think I'll use it like that as well. So, dun, dun. Now they're close enough for charge. And we can hold 3. We don't even have to actually keep spamming it. Aerodynamics. Nice. Well done. I love that you could just hold it down. That's nice. I'm not putting more mileage on my keyboard or mouse with that. Shield block. I really shouldn't use shield block at the end because I get this very useful buff that kind of goes away. I can probably still use it if I can get attacked 2 times before 3 seconds. 2, 1. I think I blocked 1. Oh, look. I think it worked. Okay, but I really should use shield block at the beginning of an encounter. Yeah. Feels good. Now if I do this right, they die pretty quickly. I want to try to keep an eye on the debuffs that they're getting as I'm killing them too. Just to kind of get an idea of what's going on. I can run and gun, that's kind of cool. Shield block. He's snared, he's debuff shaken. Shaken added like minus to defense and movement speed and all kinds of useful things. Alright, now we need to report to what's his face. I think that's the only, yeah, that's the only active quest we have. Whatever I did with the graphics appears to be working pretty well. It's running a lot smoother now. I got the UI making a lot more sense now too. I ran out of energy. Where is my sprint energy at? Oh, it uses my mana. Okay. So sprint uses mana. Got it. Or dash, I suppose, is the name. Alright. Hey there. Are you alright, Elude Stalwart? You look a bit unsteady. Yeah, I'm out of mana. Even stabilizers seem to be flickering. One of those. Okay. Select one. Leather, pale rainbow leather, or florum balm cloth upper chest. Let's go with, I think leather has more armor. I don't know. Now I can keep hitting F and continue the dialogue here as well if I care what's going on. You want to revert back to the monster you were in your nightmares? Do you want that for any of us? The HIRAM gave us mood stabilizers that prevent that. No debt is too much. There are certain things that make this noticeably another language when you're reading the text, I remember. They say things that are just a little weird sometimes. The guilt for the past is already too much to bear. Marriage may not be the nicest man, but he's a HIRAM. We owe them everything. I do appreciate your spirit, but I would never want any of my workers to get labeled as a troublemaker, nor would I want them to shatter the peace we've worked so hard for. Let me give you one last errand. Zeki didn't put a limit on how many favors you had to do for me, did he? Some Nuian patrols have been sniffing around the Mirage shipments. They've seized the number of goods they claim are quote-unquote stolen or quote-unquote illegal. He's been losing money hand over fist. I have a plan to keep Mirage shipment safe and therefore keep our livelihood safe. But I've been too busy to put it into action. There's a HIRAM local named Adartan, who's the master of forgery. Go to Adartan and ask him to forge a document that will keep the Nuians at bay. Maybe seeing those powerful Nuian ships will make you a bit grateful for the HIRAM that he saved us from. For what the HIRAM saved us from, rather. Okay, so let's pull out the Hosi and giddy up the Hosi all the way over here. Is he upstairs? Around the corner? Ah, he's straight ahead. Dash, Horsey, dash. I probably want to bind that. Probably Control W. Ooh. So, basic run. Let's find out if we can. That would be so sexy. Pet controls. Would that be skill 1? Let's try. Control W. Apply. Oh, yes. At level 20, we can slam. At level 30, we can Pango charge. And stubborn dash at level 40. And patience at level 50. Okay. Good to know, good to know. Dismount. I probably want to bind those two, but I don't know to what yet. What brings you here? Take reward. You want me to forge new orders for the Nuian fleet, do you? Luckily for you, I owe Marriage a favor. My work doesn't usually come cheap. I have extensive expertise in Inzan royal family documents, you see. I worked as a servant in the mansion of one of their top captains. If you know how to read, you'll be quite impressed when you see my work. For the missive to look authentic, however, it needs to be sealed with paraffin wax. I assume you don't have any, so you'll need to collect some. Lustrider says, if they snared, they can't turn. Oh no, I'm sorry, that was Ivan Lewis. What's up, Ivan Lewis? Welcome to the stream. Right, I saw that. I can get behind them, which if I have any kind of like backstab or like back attack abilities. I suppose that's very useful. I assume you don't have any, so collect some. Alright, so Ardatan wants us to get paraffin wax. Often forms old fuel degrades. We're standing among wealth and degraded fuel resources. And if you wouldn't mind, don't stand so close. I've heard that Warborn, oh, that's my race, Warborn, carry diseases dangerous to humans. And I don't like the way your blue neck thing is flickering. I hope you're alright. Damn, he's on the slide kind of like dissing me. Okay, so he wants us to collect this stuff here. Let's dismount. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. He saw us. I saw him, and he saw me. Alright, let's do it. Ragaga. Now, I'm going to have to move my pet stuff. Oh. Come on. There we go. Yeah, buddy. Took me a second to figure that out. Let's put it up here. We can put it in between the quest log, I think. Probably center it a little. Yeah, there we go. Blue Shire says, LMAO, you got the STDs. Yeah, I guess so. The blue thing on my neck has the gonosyphil herpelitis on it. It's like, darn it.
Target is at a different elevation.
Why do I get punted like that sometimes? You can't turn around. Ragaga. Back crits are a thing, right? Ivan Lewis, the reason why it's important to keep in mind that they can't turn around is, I think if you're standing behind them, you're critting them. Or you get some kind of a damage multiplier, right? Is that what it is? Okay. Ragaga, ragaga. Behind. I think he turned around. Interesting. So we got some paraffin wax from that. I do hope I'm pronouncing it right. So that one just gave us the wax. Okay, Mount, get out of here. I think that's all we needed. Yeah. Run. I got your wax. Back already? You found the wax quickly. You must really know your way around the junkyard. I'll take it as a compliment. Here are the forged orders as promised. Did your horned cohort happen to mention that if he had a plan for delivering them? I didn't think so. I guess the stereotype about Warmore not being very good with details is rooted in some fact, isn't it? Hey, I resemble that. Still, overall, his plan's a good one, and the Hirani do love a good plot, so I'll give you a tip. If this forgery is to be believable, it will have to be delivered by a certified and Delph-trained post-owl. Ooh. Now, you happen to be in luck because I actually happen to own a certified and Delph-trained post-owl. Do me a favor and I'll lend it to you. We can tie the forgery to its little leg and send it off, and the Nuians will be none the wiser. I just need you to get to Narage's quarters, and you'll find a small jewel-encrusted box under his bed. That's not a favor. That's asking a warborn to commit suicide. Thank you, Eyeliner Man. Didn't your mother ever teach you that it is rude to spy on other people's conversations? I like his reaction. You lost that box to Narage in a bet, fair and square. It's not right to ask the warborn to steal it back for you. The Hirani are all on the same side, you know. If you want it back so badly, just buy it from them. I'm not going to buy it back what I already owned, and I'm not asking the warborn to commit suicide. They're immortal. They can take it. The worst that would happen is a little torture. This guy, I apologize for this man's behavior. Your people are not sophisticated as ours, but that doesn't give us the right to take advantage or put you in danger. There's a small rocky island off the coast of just south of here. You can borrow my post-owl certified and Delph trained and launch the bird from there. Alright, eavesdropper's looking out. We got a skill point, so we can upgrade. Okay, these did upgrade, so I guess we leveled. And we got 1 skill point, and charge went to 3, and shield slam went to 3. Now, what's that other skill that we got? We have 1 available skill. but nothing to learn. We have to be level 10 for that ability, level 10 for that one. So in one level, we will have the access for Bull Rush or Battle Focus. So do we want to continue down the defensives or go more offensives? If I remember correctly, Tiger Strike is life. So I'll probably be beelining it for that at level 40 or 35. But I need to be Battle Rage 4 or higher. So if I invest 1 or 2 more points into Battle Rage, by the time I'm 35, then I can get Tiger Strike. So until then, we can go defensive. Alright, and then once we get our 3rd point in either of these, we'll unlock either Reckless Charge or Spry Fortress. Decrease stun and impale effect durations. Using Charge, Tiger Striker behind enemy lines grants you Reckless Charge buff, increasing physical damage reduction and reducing Shackle. Okay, well those both are kind of okay. But we still need a level in order to get either one. Now, Namur here has a quest for us as well. Aralea says, hello, new to the game or returning? Returning. It's been a couple years though, so I'm practically new to the game. I leveled 1 character back in the day. I think to like level 50, but I didn't actually do much in-game. Welcome to the stream though. Ah, welcome back. Thanks, man. Namur says, hey, if you see Fish Collar down at the beach, could you ask where my oysters are? I asked them to bring me some fresh oysters yesterday and I haven't seen them since. Oh, okay. That's easy enough. Alright, let's pull out the old mount and Control W. So we got a side quest and then the main objective. That leaping thing's weird. It's a little jarring, but convenient nonetheless if you know what it's doing. Alright, my mount's out of stamina. Oh, you're on Aria as well. Wonderful choice. Ah, is this the, that's the server you're talking about? Is that the server I'm on? Right on. Let's put the health hit points, or the mount hit points next to that. I do remember back in the day, I streamed this, so I'm looking at these lost bottles. I remember stream sniping is definitely a thing. I think it was like the level 30 to 40 range where I ended up getting it was like a teddy bear nemesis. I had obtained an arch nemesis that would stream snipe me almost every day, and it was actually pretty fun. I was always having to watch out for him and be careful that he was going to come murder me from out of nowhere. But I'd get away. I'd hold my own here and there. He was a max level, so it wasn't very fun a lot of the times. But if that happens, I'm going to need some backup. So if you are on this server, that'll be it'll be really appreciated if you could come back me up if I get any stream snipes. I don't know if that's still a thing though. It's been a while, so I'm not sure if any of that's changed. I never used to toggle PvP on, but I don't remember a whole lot of how the PvP system worked, or why I would be getting attacked by that guy. Careless Tiger, oh look at that, you found them, the mother. I thought I'd lost them all, but I've been terrible whipping her words. Okay, so, he's gonna give me Shabby Pet Leggards. I guess this is for my mount. I gotta be level, okay, it says it'll scale from level 1 to 55. Increase movement speed on the pet. Listen, do you know where I can find Construction Supervisor Tomlin? I'm supposed to deliver all this, but I must have lost my directions as well as the booze. North, you say? Ah, there was headed south. Thank you, friend. Take the sign as my gratitude. Most valuable thing I own besides my stabilizers. Okie dokie. These pet leggards can go on my mount, which I can pull out here. Where is it? Pets can be given their own equipment. Here we go. Ha! He's got 5% increased movement speed now. Also, I got these pale rainbow leather upper chests earlier, and I never opened it. Ah, okay. So I can check the item's grade by right-clicking. Oh, so this is a pale rainbow jerkin. This replaces my cloth armor civilian shirt. Aralea says, I'm on the West faction, but I'll gladly help when I can. And yeah, stream sniping is still a thing. Oh, great. It's cool though, sounds good. Alright, so this will increase my equipment points by 50, my defense by 178, etc. It gives me a lot of agility. Okay, leather giving agility. I can get down with that. 2 other equipment items. This turned into gloves. That turned into boots. We have pale rainbow guards. I guess I had been looting this stuff all along, but I'd never checked. Alright, let's see what we got. This will be too labor to open that, so I'm going to wait on that. I don't have any other gloves, but this will give me defense, magic defense, agility, stamina. More agility than anything. Those are some gloves. What do we got here? Wrists. More agility than anything, but strength, agility, stamina. And it looks like it's a set because I'm getting 2 of 7 of the set effect for the pale rainbow leather. This is a somewhat of a downgrade, but it'll be another part of the set that I'm wearing here. The set bonuses include health regen, post-cast mana regen, health regen, and post-cast mana regen. So that, I mean, it sounds good, but it's not something too savage, so I'm not going to go out of my way for it. I'm going to actually keep the leather or the Grand Dusty Fists on instead of that. And for the boots here, oh, the set effect of the civilian armor there was also health and mana regen. So I'll be getting rid of that and putting on these Grand Dusty leather boots. And look, I think we changed a little bit. Not bad. Okay, auto sort. Moving on. Okay, he wanted us to do something in this area. Here's the fish collar guy. We got to report to fish collar and then launch a post owl, which is further south. So let's talk to this guy first. Oysters be jammed. They don't pay me what they pay in Hirani, or they don't pay me what they pay Hirani fishermen. That's racist. I know I should be grateful that Hirani give me any work at all, but I'm sick of it. I'll fetch him nothing. Here's the pittance Nammer paid me for an entire bushel of oysters. Take it and don't tell him where to find me. You can use my boat too. I won't be needing it anymore. Wow, they just give you all this stuff right off the bat. I know it doesn't look like much, but it served me well and it'll serve you too. So I got a boat now? Collect rainbow boat, or collect rowboat rather. Rainbow
near
boat.
water, you can summon a boat. However, if you move away from the water, the summoning will automatically be cancelled.
There.
If your boat is destroyed in battle, you will be temporarily unable to summon it.
Oh snap, we got a boat. Okay. Let's hop on the mount. G. And let's book it down to... Oh, okay. So the boat is so we can get across for the main quest. Alright. Let's get rid of the mount. The boat is controlled though. Just put it on F6. Oh man, I remember this. You could get like your own oh, steering. I don't think I made it in the water. How do I okay. There we go. Turn. Turn. How do I... Okay, Q? Is Q doing it? Okay. Ah, he's not turning. How do I do these? There's probably something in the controls. Let's see. Options. Game keybinds. No, character controls. Forward, backwards, left, right. Turn left, left. Walk, run. Hold AD. Okay. Will that work even if... Move left and right? Okay. Hold A. Hold D. Pivot, pivot, pivot. Oh, look, I gotta use my... Okay. So, for my key bindings, I gotta actually use my up, down, left, right keys because of the way I bound my character. I got it. Harlea says, OMG Blue. I got it. Okay, we're making progress now. Let's go! Oh, move, fat boy, row, row. Oh, wee, oh, yo, oh, oh, wee, oh. All right, I think T will dismount me. And can we pick it back up? No, no, I don't want to be a passenger. I feel like I'm breaking my boat right now. Stow the boat. Ah, there we go. All right, onward. Oh. Skinematic. We let the owl go. It's so glorious. Oh. Please don't shoot my owl. Ah. Very, very nice.
Commander, an urgent missive from Esna.
He looks serious.
The
No,
pirates
the owl. Spoilers.
sacking the port as usual. Turn it around. Full sail.
Turn around. Okay. That's his command voice, I guess. Turn it around. Okay, let's go. We gotta sail back. This time we'll get a little ways in the water so we're not beached. Yeah. And onward. Stay-at-home gamer says, man, I need a capture card so I can stream with better quality. What's up, Stay-at-home gamer? Welcome to the stream, man. Yeah, I saw your channel. You're trying to raise funds for that, eh? Yeah, this is PC, man. I like PC because I don't need a capture card. I can just stream straight from the PC, but I am limited by my graphics card, unfortunately. The Xbone and the PlayStation 4 got me on graphics. All in due time, though. Blue Strider says, Commander who knows how to pivot, Pog. Yeah. Turn around! Pivot Master. I feel like I'm damaging my boat when I beach it like that. You gotta be careful. Alright, let's get back up to the turn-in this way. Now, you said you're part of the West Aralea? The West faction? Is that different than the Haranaya Alliance? Are you the Tuian Alliance? I think of it like Horde and Alliance. I'm kind of the Horde, I would equate this to. You would be the Alliance. I realize we're both the Alliance, but as far as factions are concerned, at least. Red team, blue team type stuff. Alright. Air Raven. I've delivered the message. The fleet turned around, you say? Excellent. Our ploy worked. And I hope the ships fear the Nuians and you. Or put the fear in the Nuians in you. The kind that might be Hirani are protecting us from. That's why we need to be grateful. I think I just got a title from that. I know that look. You're still skeptical, aren't you? Ha! I know that your name is Elude Stalwart, but I think that you should add tenacious to it. That's a polite way of saying stubborn. Tenacity would be a great quality, but no one likes a stubborn warborn. The only things that you should be stubborn about is following the 3 rules. I know. Never take off your stabilizer, never attack the sentient creature first, never forget the sins of your past. I just have some questions, some concerns. So I actually have dialogue in this little exchange. This is surprising. This is like, I think this is one of the first, well, Swotor did dialogue for the main character, but those were rare. There's nothing to question, these are good things. They just help prevent us from becoming the monsters that massacred all of Inza. Do you want to live that nightmare again? Do you want to slaughter another city? If you take off your stabilizer, or if you attack first, or if you forget your past, that's what you'll do. The Hirani protect us from that, and from Nuia's vengeance. But as soon as our gratitude falters, they could send the Nuians straight to us. The Nuians would never hesitate to torture us for an eternity after what we did to the Inza. That seems to be the fear of the Warborn, is infinity torture because they're immortal. I guess at worst they could be tortured. Stay-at-home gamer says, yeah, I'm streaming from the Xbox to Twitch. That's the best quality I can get. Right on. Got a dono yesterday, so I'm closer to the capture card. Nice. Well, very good, man. Congratulations. Hang in there. So we follow the rules and keep the Hirani happy. And the first rule, stabilizer. Yours needs to be looked at. Go find Kemji. He should have a mechanic on site. I gotta find out what this stabilizer stuff's about. It seems to be kind of important.
Your entire lives are structured around the 3 rules. They're the closest thing you have to a real culture.
The stabilizer?
Say the 3 rules can answer any question.
I think it has something to do with his immortal
They say any
transformation
question that
thing.
can't be answered by the 3 rules is utterly unimportant. You always used to believe them.
The way he goes across is like
Stand
South
at the
Park.
junkyard.
Like someone's got Cartman sitting there like the paper
You knew you should
piece
get it
moving
repaired
across the screen.
immediately, but you had questions. Things which had always felt clear suddenly seemed
Things which had always felt clear seemed cloudy.
like sending that message to the ship. Doing that was good for the Hirani. Good
This
for
guy
the
sounds like,
Warlord.
that's all states stand.
With a working stabilizer.
Are
that should
you
be
in good
enough,
hands?
But right now it wasn't. The message had been a lie, and lies were sins.
Rutro
You
Raggy.
were always supposed to remember your past and the sins you'd committed in Esna.
It's kind of janky the way this is
No,
animated.
committing another sin really a good idea? And what if the Nuian ship went back and attacked its own port, mistaking dock workers for pirates? If someone else attacked first at your request, it almost felt the same as if you'd attacked first.
Oh, is that right?
Did it still count as breaking one of the 3 rules, even if you did so indirectly? The more you pondered such things, the more your stabilizer seemed to throb, along with your pulse.
I think the stabilizer is the blue thing on my neck that
In
other
all the
person was
years
commenting
since it had
on.
been implanted, you've never felt anything like it.
And I think the stabilizer is important. I think it has to do with how I transform into the boogeyman. Okay. Let's see where this takes us. Quest accepted. Continuing concerns. I think we got a title. No title. View all. Block titles. Title list. Indomitable. Now, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, so yes, the titles do come with effects. So, for example, if I can get Descendant of Iana, I could wear that title and I'll get increased strength, agility, stamina, intelligence, and spirit plus 9. So certain titles are pretty useful for the buffs that they can give you. And you get different buffs depending on what you're trying to do. Like you can get a fishing buff, carpentry buff, hammer time title. That's so metal for metalworking. So as you unlock these, you can get benefits. Now for me, I want the Indomitable. It has no effect right now, but I can apply it just to look like indomitable Elude Stalwart. It's just a nice way of saying stubborn. And we're 98.7% into this level, so I believe the next turn-in will put us over the top for the level 10 and next ability and next passive ability. It's just whether or not I want to go for focus, battle focus, or bull rush. I'm thinking bull rush. I think I'm going to go full tank. Or prioritize tank. I imagine as I level up, I'm probably going to be dipping into both. The battle rage and the kind of tanky spec. What is the name of the tanky spec? Defense? Okay. I probably could have guessed that. Watch where you're going, Armadillo. Alright, so Flower Farm Manager Kamji. I don't know what any of these quests have to do with the main story. They're just like really kind of... Can I talk to you? What's going on? I think he wants me to give him something. Target Flower Farm... Oh, okay. I gotta bow. You gotta introduce yourself to these guys. A mechanic? Pshaw. I fired him months ago. Hired 3 Warborn laborers on his salary. Your stabilizer is a Warborn concern. Go talk to a Warborn at the hovels about it. Damn. So I'm like a slave race or something. Alright, so let's talk to a Warborn. We gotta report to Industrious Horn. Excuse me. He's over here. Somewhere. Ah, okay, here you are. Industrious Horn. There's like a phantom guy here as well. Oh, Phantom of Tiberium. That's weird. I'm assuming he becomes a part of the story a little later. Arleia says, exactly, the Warborn are enslaved and essentially mind controlled for a large part of their lives. Ah, okay, so I just woke up from a mind control. You look lost, friend. Can I help you? Yeah, can I have your pale rainbow leather lowers? A mechanic, huh? I remember the flower farm had a mechanic. The Kamji realized it was cheaper to hire a Warborn to maintain the place than to pay to maintain machines to do it. Ah, well, I suppose that's our lot, to serve. At any rate, I think that a mechanic does still live around here. You come a long way, though. You look exhausted, and your stabilizer does look a mess. I'll ask about getting that fixed, but why don't you take a nap in the cave? It's a safe place, no humans. Well, that's generous. Pleasure to meet you. Please go take a nap in the cave near me. Okay, so we got breeches, a belt, breeches, and boots. These are a clear upgrade. That'll give us 3 of 7 for the pale rainbow leather set. Belt, we don't have a belt, so that's an upgrade. And boots, these are a slight upgrade compared to the dusty leather boots. Nice. Our gear is looking pretty good. Now, for the set effect, we've gotten 1 or 2. We've gotten 2 of the set effects currently. Health regen and post-cast mana regen. Now, if we were to put on the gloves and whatever that other piece is, looks like maybe a helm, I'm not sure, then we would get the further increase of the health regen and post-cast mana regen. Okay, what are we doing? Let's talk to Cat Jumper. Two Cats Yelling says, hello! What's up, Two Cats Yelling? Welcome to the stream. Kamji demanded I cook his favorite meal, but I'm already behind on my other work. Can you fetch ingredients for me? You'd save me a hell of a beating, and I'd be allowed to keep my wages. I can even split them with you. There's a goat pen east of the Hirani village up on the cliffs. The meat of 1 goat should be sufficient. Alright, so we can do that. Now, Broseph here, Industrious Horn, wanted us to take a nap in his cave. I think this is the nap place. I'm gonna go for the back middle, yeah, probably the back corner. Ooh. Starting a new Warborn, eh? Yeah. It's been a couple years since I played this game.
Precious son, it's time to discuss your future.
I don't want to be called that. Not unless they are.
Please, Damien, I won't argue this with you again. When a
Arlea
blacksmith
says, hey,
forges
too.
a sword,
So you
does
just
he
came back
promise
too. A lot of people seem to
give
be.
it an inheritance?
Yeah, there's a lull in the
The
MMO world.
Warborn are tools,
So
not
I'm looking for
siblings.
something.
A sword doesn't breathe.
Just trying to
or
pass time
bleed.
till Classic
It
WoW
doesn't
comes
have a
out.
mind. The Warborn do. They can feel.
Also, I really liked this game back in the day. Like,
Are you saying
I think I
don't
played it,
feel
the
love
last
for you?
time I played it was like
Or that I don't
2014.
feel
It's been
pain
like
at your
5
wounds?
years or something.
The Warborn are
But
flesh,
I've been revisiting all the old
reformed by hurt
MMOs,
and
seeing what's
hatred.
been good.
It's an injustice
A lot
to
of them have
consider them
changed in
human.
a lot of major ways.
Remember me?
And it's fun too, just like the whole leveling experience. I remember being super enjoyable. The combat's super
Do
awesome.
you remember killing me?
Damn,
And my people?
this guy's mad at me.
Leave me alone, ghost. I know very well what I
Hey, that's my voice.
Oh, I didn't hurt your feelings, did I?
So I'm the Allstate guy.
With a blade to the heart? I was a good king. I did right by my people, and you butchered me like a sow. Now you continue to walk the earth? My people will never see the sun again, and you bask in it like a beetle. You can't.
The news of Jake Song's return seems to have gotten people's attention. Two Cats Yelling says, hello at Arlea. And the changes Jake has implemented has helped a ton, says Arlea. Two Cats Yelling said, Tryon started off by being the hero of the MMO genre, then they turned to the dark side. Yeah, I remember hitting max level and so much of the game revolving around kind of like the paid objectives, things that you would have to actually like buy in order to be competitive, or I just remember there being some sort of a gate to the game that I really didn't enjoy. I don't like to get to a part of the game where it's like, I don't know, it's behind a paywall in some way and I can't experience, you know, the same thing that everybody else is who's actually paying for things and buying things on the market. I don't like the DLC, I guess. Once I get to the point where it's all DLC, I kind of lose enthusiasm. I'm sorry, I've wanted New Dream for so long. You really had me going there. I'd almost believed you. If I bought the DLC in this game, the problem is I would buy the DLC in SWTOR or Star Wars The Old Republic. I would buy the DLC in World of Warcraft has like an online item shop market thing. Like, it would open up a can of worms for me. I would very much be, you know, selling my body to the night in order to make enough funds to keep on buying all the DLC for all the games I play. Two Cat Shell says, yeah, try out with microtransaction happy with all their games. Yeah, I don't mind if it's aesthetic stuff, but whenever it's like game altering or market altering things, I don't like that. Blue Strider says, it was the labor gate for me. Oh, having the labor, right. So when you get to a point to where you have to pay to have more labor, like, that sucks. And surprise of surprises, people didn't like it and it came back to bite them. Yeah. Cry, C-R-Y-Y, he's a big ArcheAge YouTuber. I've been watching him, or I've watched him back in the day, and he's currently promoting the game again on his channel. I think the last time he played was like, or the last upload he had was like 7 days ago. So, yeah, Cryfu is great, right on. Arlea says, well, you can get just about anything in game without spending a dime. Can even get the subscription, and any and all cash op items are completely free to play. I like that. A lot of the times there's such a huge mountain of what you have to buy or what you have to do to earn enough to actually obtain those things, but they are obtainable, and usually I don't have a problem with that. I'm sorry, I've wanted to dream for so long, you really had me going there, I almost believed you. What? Is this guy saying he's never dreamed? I wanted a new dream. Oh, okay. The dream and the content of your dream. I can't even imagine seeing Precious Mother's face no matter what she said about us. Just to see her. Oh, well, if wishes were fishes, we'd never be hungry. I never, I think I have a lead on a mechanic that can help you repair your stabilizer. But there's a problem. She's very expensive. I know Hirani engineers used to help us pro bono, but it's fallen out of style. They gave us our stabilizers for free. It's our responsibility to maintain them. But Warborns stick together. Always we will rise. If you do some of my chores, I'll give you some wages. Then I can rest, you can repair, and we can both be happy knowing you're not about to turn into a bloodthirsty monster. Deal? So my stabilizers to keep me from turning into a monster. Phantom of Tiberium. Aralea. Oh wait, two cats. No, Blue Strider says, "Lol, yeah, it took a while, but now they're learning, and MMOs are getting better. Sortor now too offers content for a single month sub." Nice. I was looking at that with Sotor too, and one of these games I'm gonna start picking up subs on until Classic comes out, because I want to be able to get the full experience. You know, like I feel like you're not getting the full experience of the game unless you sub with some of these. Lord of the Rings Online has a similar thing. You can do special quests where you get Lord of the Rings points for their store. Do it enough and you can purchase cash shop stuff with them. That was two cats yelling saying that. Aralea says, honestly, this is the best state ArcheAge has ever been in my opinion. I've heard that echoed by Cryfu as well, Aralea, so I'm excited to see. Blue Strider says, even WoW Classic will be included in its normal sub too. Yeah. Good points. All good points. I'm hoping for me, I'm hoping to find a game on the side until WoW Classic comes out. Whether it be ArcheAge, SWTOR. I was playing a game called The Secret World Legends. There's a bunch of different ones I'm looking at right now. I did dip in. Tryon also does Rift, and I did dip into Rift for a while, and I see the progression. I haven't max leveled yet, but they got a queuing system where you can queue up and run these dungeons and stuff and level up quite quickly. So even Rift was pretty enjoyable in its current state. So whatever Tryon's doing, it's figuring it out for all of its MMOs from the looks of it. I mean, I haven't ever played Defiance or Defiance 2020 or those. But between at least Rift and ArcheAge, it seems like they're starting to tighten it up and figure out what they're doing a lot better. MMO devs prefer subscription. It's the way why they incentivize them so strongly. That's consistent, predictable income for them. Cash shop and microtransactions became quote-unquote necessary because certain companies' marketing departments decided subscriptions were quote-unquote outdated and don't work anymore. People bought into that and stopped supporting sub-based games. I think also you were getting a lot of alpha games and games that were releasing in beta as unfinished products that would never actually release the main game. Like what comes to mind is Star Citizen and Rust and DayZ and those type of games. Like those weren't subscription-based games, but they were like, you know, you buy them and then the game would never come out type games that I think were competing for people's subscriptions. And I know I lost a lot of money buying into games that still aren't out. Two Cats Yelly says, the cash shops require them to constantly create new content for people to buy, and it's almost always starts creeping towards pay to win for those who aren't making enough. Yeah, I agree. Blue Strider says, I'm with you there. I'm stuck in SWTOR. I want to revisit Final Fantasy 14 before their new expansion, but I can't stop playing SWTOR. Its Barbie/repeatables are too addicting. FML. I hear you, man. Blue Strider says, also mobile games become the highest earning games. Still are, so MMOs tried to get into that. Yeah, I hear you. Wait, what happened? Oh, I went back. So, foolish Elude Stalwart, as if you're anything but a bloodthirsty monster, you wake up for your ends and harvest flowers. What? Do you see that? Does anyone else see that? So this ghost starts yelling at him while he's talking to this other guy. And Elude like, am I the only one that sees this guy? Industrious Horse says, see what? Are you alright? Your stabilizer must be affecting you more than we thought. I'm fine, I'm sorry. I thought I saw someone in the cave. A man. I told you this is a safe place, no humans. Are you sure you can work? Just do what you feel up to doing. If you can handle this, watering the flowers and pulling weeds, that's fine, if you're up to the challenge. Runoff from the junkyard has tainted the Saracenias. Their nectar has driven the honeybees and foxes mad. They're interfering with our work, sadly, and should all be put down. I heard about that in Japan. There were these Japanese hornets or something like that. They were these enormous hornets who were eating fermented fruit and getting drunk and pissed off, and they were like killing people. It seems like kind of a play on what that was talking about. The Saracenias and the honeybees and foxes getting drunk. Two Cats Yelling says, my theory, devs and publishers saw how much money people were spending on old gold sellers and eBay items, realizing that they were only getting a box purchase and $15 a month, and realized that they were losing out. Well, not only that, but those gold sellers are kind of like ruining the game and the economy. So implementing a way for you to purchase the in-game like currency, WoW does the WoW token, like giving the player a means to buy game gold with their real money actually helps combat all those gold sellers and stuff that ruin the economy. And I think the developers can like predict the market a lot more accurately whenever they're the suppliers. Meanwhile, they're spending money on trying to stop and prevent gold sellers. Yeah, right, exactly. At some point they said, we can't beat them, might as well join them. And suddenly free-to-play with Cash Shop becomes all the rage. Yeah, and it's also an effective way to counter like those third-party services as well. But yeah, I agree with you too, Cats Yelly. But if you look at a lot of the free-to-play MMOs out there, they offer a monthly sub option, which is really nice incentives. ESOs is an awesome deal. Man, I got into Elder Scrolls Online as well, and I really enjoyed that game. Kind of like ArcheAge, the whole leveling experience was awesome. I loved the dungeon delving, like that was my favorite thing to do. But I hit a point where I needed to buy DLC for like 3 different expansions, and I had just missed this golden collector's package that it had. Like, it was a package deal. I could spend like $20 or $30 and get all 3 of those and be caught up to date. And by the time, like, I dragged my feet on it, and by the time I leveled the character and looked at buying those, it was 3 separate packages again, and I was like, no! I remember telling Blue Strider about that. Blue Strider says, I think the cash shops are fine as long as they remain cosmetic only. Once they make the jump to XP gains and other things, they alienate their communities. Yeah, XP boosts and stuff like that. I agree. That could be something that's, it's a make or break sometimes. It's how they implement it, I think, is what matters. Like, and the importance that the game design puts on that. Like, it's, I think in some cases with the games, you got to kind of like look at what the larger player base is doing. Because, I mean, if you got a game like ArcheAge where crafting is the main objective that like a large majority of the player base focuses on, then maybe XP boosts aren't so bad. Because like that's just enriching the, I guess, the larger part of the player base that's crafting. You could get up to that point where they are and become a crafter as well if you're like one of the lifestyle gamers instead of like a combat or experience grinding gamer. Like, I guess it depends. It depends on, like, you know, the game design and the player base. Two Cats Helly says, lol, angry drunken wasps. Yeah, man. Blue Strider said, lol, yeah, killer fruit. Two Cat Shelly says, the thing is, at Blue Strider 25, cosmetics are content for a lot of people who enjoy that aspect of the game. Correct. This is kind of what I mean about the crafting thing. Like, for some people, that is the game. Like, going and farming in WoW, they have, like, the old school raids where you haven't gotten that last piece for your transmog set that you just want to complete the look. Like, you have this ideal set of gear that'll make your character look exactly how you want. And for some people, that's the game. Like, not doing super difficult, challenging combat with like advanced mechanics and like having your team A and team B in a 40-man raid address different mechanics, and like for some people that's the end game, just all the combat and the mechanics like that. Or some people it's mounts, like collecting mounts is the game for them. But yeah, so it might not affect those who don't care about cosmetics, but it definitely does for those who do. So in my opinion, it's a problem even with quote-unquote just cosmetics. 2Cast Yelly says, to me, everything should be attainable in-game by playing. I agree. I wholeheartedly agree with that. Nothing should be cash shop exclusive. Yes, exactly. Now, for 2Cats Yelling, what I hear counter to that is, well, if you can earn the cash shop currency in-game, then it is technically, you know, obtainable using just the in-game mechanics or whatever. You could eventually be able to afford the cash shop exclusive mount, but even that, like, that separation, not people aren't always aware that that's the case. Like, I think that's what Blizz is doing right now with World of Warcraft. They have it to where you can sell these WoW tokens. You can buy these WoW tokens whenever they're low, and then resell them again whenever they're cost more. Like when there's a big surge of players returning to the game, like that's forcing you to play the game whenever most of the player base isn't, just so you can buy those. But then whenever the large wave hits of like, you know, a new patch comes out or a new race comes out and a large player base returns to the game, once the subscription goes up again, you can sell these WoW tokens and technically, you know, buy the in-game currency, or you can buy the in-game cash shop items using that currency from the WoW tokens. Like the auction house mount is another one, like 5 million gold. There's like some kind of a finagling. Blue Strider says, 10 years ago, I would agree with that completely, but with today's time constraints, are too much for game-exclusive things. The same time constraints existed 10 years ago, says 2Cat Yelling. 2Cat Yelling says, I played Final Fantasy, 11 and Lineage 2. Two extremely time-intensive games. I played with people who had families, careers, etc., and limited time. 2Cat Yelling says, time constraints weren't different, people's expectations were. Yeah, and as you were younger, you had more time to play as well. Blue Strider 25 says, but the gaming player base is far more diverse than it was 10 years ago. Like, Final Fantasy XIV is subbed with huge cosmetic shops, and a lot of HC females are highly interested in it. Hardcore females? 2Cat Yelling says, doesn't matter. An individual's life circumstances or lack of time isn't the game development's problem or responsibility. 2Cat Yelling says, if you have 1.5 hours, but you want to see a 2-hour movie, do you demand that they start making the movie shorter? Blue Strider 25 says, but being a player and just being an OCD player is different. Just because you don't want to buy a cosmetic, then you don't have to. 2Cat Yelling says, wow, at Blue Strider 25, OCD for wanting to enjoy a part of the game that they like? Getting a bit judgmental, aren't you? Aralea says, that's what you do in ArcheAge. You sue Apex to gain credits. You sue Apex to gain credits in ArcheAge? I want to know how that works, Arlea. Blue Strider 25 says, I meant only the sense of completionist. It's not hurting your gameplay to not have some new skin. I kind of see what 2Cats Yelling is saying, though. Like, if getting the skins is, like, your main goal, that's all you care about, then, and just being able to switch your skin on the fly or whatever, like, I could kind of see, like, it's just like mount farming. It's just like, you know, whatever it is. 2Cats Yelling says, I get it, though. A lot of people these days are full of support in cash shops, as long as it doesn't affect them. 2Cats Yelling says, it's not a completionist thing. It's people wanting to engage in an aspect of the game that they enjoy. Others like raiding. They like to get the aesthetic things. Blue Strider says, hardcore gamer females. Arlea says, I'm doing raids, can't type, but you know what I meant. Right on, Arlea. 2Cats Yelling says, some people enjoy raiding, some people enjoy crafting, some people enjoy aesthetics. Pink Rose says, hi Elude, how's you today? What's up, Pink Rose? Welcome to the stream. we're talking about game mechanics and cash shop items and the way, like, the state of MMOs currently. I know, to kind of like echo a little bit of what you were saying, Two Cats Yelling, with ArcheAge specifically, even on the loading screen, it says craft, what does it say? Craft, conquer, destroy, or craft, conquer, combat. Like, crafting is just as much of an aspect of the game in this one, in this MMO, as in-game raiding or PvP. Craft, claim, conquer. Correct. That's exactly. Like, right out the gate, they set the tone for these players enjoy different aspects of this game. Two Cats Yelling says, by saying it's okay to sell things in a cash shop as long as it's only cosmetic, you're saying it's okay for a certain portion of the player base. It's okay if a certain portion of the player base has to pay more to enjoy the game the way they like, just as long as it's not something I have to pay for. I see what you're saying there. I guess it depends. It depends on, like, I think from the developer's point of view, like, on their side, they can kind of monitor what the players are doing and what a large majority of the player base is focused on. And it's really up to them to kind of maintain a balance in that sense, that way. Like, if you see all the players doing, like, some same cookie cutter path of progression is just a means to get to the part of the game that they enjoy. Like, I think WoW kind of did this back in the day with add-ons. Like, if everybody in the game is downloading Quest Helper just to quest, then it's in the developer's best interest to implement some feature of Quest Helper to help, and they have since then. They've gotten, like, they've absorbed a lot of these add-ons and these things that players would just go out of their way for a third-party thing just to enjoy as a quality of life to get to the part of the game that they enjoy. Like, Quest Helper was just meant to speed up the questing process. But, I guess counter to that, some people enjoy looking at a quest, reading all the text, trying to figure out the puzzle, and then going and doing the thing. You know what I mean? It's like, for some people, for some minority, that's probably still the case. And they have options for that. Like, you can go into your options and you could disable, like, your quests pointing you in a certain direction, or even tracking quests, and still kind of get some of that. But I don't know. They've streamlined it in a sense towards helping out a large majority of the player base. If they're good, if they're a good developer. Two Cats Yelly says, if some raids or dungeons were going to be cash shop only, their attitude, all those people would change their attitude about it real fast because it suddenly affects them. Arlea says, not reading everything, but based on what I've skimmed and heard, I agree with two. Two Cats Yelly says, thus, if you want to sell things in the cash shop so people can cut out the grind and get what they want, fine. But make it an attainable in-game as well. Yes, there should never be anything that separates, like, what players can or cannot do. Blue Strider says, I see your point of view, but if that part of the player base only sub to play an aesthetic side, then you're forcing them to grind out and put hours into a game in which they're not there for gameplay. I think the aesthetics is part of it, is showing off those aesthetics. They should still, like, I think you should still do the things that a large majority of the player base are doing just to show off your aesthetics. But, I mean, maybe you just want to look really cool and park in the major city as well. So, I mean, I don't know. Two Cat Shelly says, I'm not against cash shops necessarily. I'm against cash shop exclusives. Right. I agree with that. You said that's the second time you were saying that, but, like, that's definitely smart. It's wicked smart. Two Cats Shelly says that Blue Strider, but many of them enjoy that. People have spent weeks and months doing lengthy quest lines and such, or grinding to craft something, just because they like how it looks. So they will still do some of the stuff they're not as interested in to get the thing that they're interested in. Aesthetics and cosmetics is just a huge motivation for people. Right, the carrot on the stick. For people who enjoy that. Blue Strider says, so the argument that having to raid or grind currency that they hate to actually enjoy what they like. So the argument, so that argument for them having to raid or grind currency that they hate to actually enjoy what they like. So you mean like forcing the players to do things they don't like in order to obtain the thing that they do? Two Catch Ellie says, hell, there's a joke that in Final Fantasy XIV, glamour is the real in-game. Two Catch Ellie says, again, at Blue Strider, there are people who enjoy doing that content. You're projecting. And like I said, I'm okay with it if it's in the cash shop for those who don't want to do the grind, but it should also be available in the game for those who do. Two Catch Ellie says, yeah, just reiterating because I think Blue Strider might not have caught it the last time. Right on. I'm not keeping up with chat as well as I should be. Yeah, y'all got an interesting debate going on, or an interesting thought experiment that I'm really enjoying you two kind of go back and forth. I feel like I wish that I had like a podcast I could get you guys in discussing in real time. I mean, we could hook up some Discord. I think that'd be interesting. But y'all kind of getting it secondhand from me. Lucifer says, not forcing them to do it, but putting time into which they do not have. Two Cats Yelly says, Blue Strider, how do you know this? So not forcing them to do it, but putting time into that which they don't have. And Two Cats Alien is asking, how do you know this? To him saying that. That was a quick response if you're responding to that. Two Cats Alien says, again, you're projecting. In what way? Yeah, I'm lost as well. How is Blue Strider projecting? What is he projecting? Blue Strider says, how do I know? I was watching Preach play Classic WoW Beta, but he had to stop because he had to go pick up his kids and feed them, even though he didn't want to. Yeah, man, that's just going to be the life in Classic. It takes so long to get anything off the ground, and then when you find your grind, and you're actually able to do the thing, you don't want to get away because you're losing progress. But that's definitely a part of the game, is managing your IRL. Classic was not tailored to, like, so much of WoW from Classic up to its current state has been tailored to an ever-growing audience of people aging. It's like a lot of the large majority of the player base were like college age to, like, I want to say college age to high school to college age people, but I'm not sure. Like, I don't know. I don't have the data or anything like that, but games back then, like, that was your target audience. Now, like, that audience has grown and they've become older as adults, and, you know, people that work and have wives and lives and kids and stuff like that. So the game has been tailored more to suit the worker that's on his lunch break that wants to get a quick hit, a quick fix of productivity in the game that they enjoy. And I think a lot of the game has shifted to that. And then, like, there's also the dark side of MMOs, like, where people would do all this other stuff in these games that they've kind of addressed, I think, on the slide with the way the game works now, like where they would sell services and products of unspeakable orient. Back in the day with, like, the Moonguard RP servers and stuff like that to get progression, quote unquote progression, or whatever it was, like gearing or gold or whatever. And I think the MMOs have tailored themselves even around things like that since then. There's like a whole lot that goes into the reason why it works the way it is now. Alright, so last I left off, RLA was saying they were lost at this point. Blue Strider says, how do I know? I was watching... Okay, he had to go pick up his kids and feed them. Two Cats Yelly says, he's saying that making items in-game available in-game is forcing them to do content that they don't want to do and or don't have time for. Right. Gating them behind content that they don't enjoy to make them get the thing that they do enjoy. To Catch Ellie says, so you're categorizing an entire population of players based on one person? Blue Strider says, 100 years ago, he would have been like Asthma Gold or Soda Poppin' going 24 hours. Oh, 10 years ago. I was like, 100 years ago. So 10 years ago, he would have been like Asmon or Soda Poppin' going 24 hours. He still can. Like, he can dump his kids off with a babysitter or with a family member or something and still do that. But it's all about, like, what does he prioritize? Like, as a father, like, from my own perspective, like, you prioritize that time spent with your kids more than a game. So you would rather be there to go pick them up. Even though you still have this thing that you really enjoy, that you love to do, that you would know life if, you know, IRL responsibilities would permit it. And those people are still gamers, but we don't have that same time. To Catch Ellie says at Blue Strider, you're getting ridiculous and wandering further and further off into the weeds here with absurd assumptions and cherry-picked examples. With Mike Preachwell having to get up from the computer, that, yeah, I can hear kind of what you're saying there. That is kind of a very specific example. Two Cats Yelling says, back when EQ1 and Lineage 1 and 2 and Final Fantasy 11 were at hugely time-intensive games, people with limited time still played and enjoyed them. So this argument that they don't have the time is moot. It's false. I agree. You can manage your time properly to dump more time into the game that you enjoy. It's all time management and figuring out ways. I mean, a lot of the times for me to stream, I'll wake up at 4 a.m. just to do a stream if I know I got stuff to do later on in the day. Sometimes my schedule gets knocked off by things that pop up without me being able to plan, but, like, you can make time. But by all means, keep repeating yourself, says 2Cat Yelling. Blue Strider says, like Asmongold showed in the clip of 7 years ago where he blew up about the quote-unquote shop-only mount, now he laughs at it. 7 years ago there was a shop-only mount? What video is that? I wonder. But I guess your point, Blue Strider, is you're saying that he mocked the shop-only mount? Like, back then he was actually enraged about it, but now he's like laughing at it. Tukash Ellie says, and again, people having limited time means that they have to prioritize and manage their expectations better. It doesn't mean that, quote, the developer must design the game around those people, unquote. That's an incredibly entitled mindset. Yeah, I mean, that kind of goes back to what I was saying earlier, where, like, they have the means of tracking player interaction and what they're doing. So I guess the type of community that they want to foster, the game should be designed around, you know, making that better. So it's not just a game like this, an ArcheAge, where it's craft, claim, conquer. Like, if you see just everybody crafting and that's all that they're doing, but you want the claim and conquer folks to kind of like also enjoy the game, then maybe you'll look at the you know, claim and conquer aspect and see if there's ways of incentivizing players to do that more. Blue Strider says, I'm not talking about adding shop content that changes gameplay or anything, like gear XP boosts or something like that gives you an edge, but just as there should be crafting only items, I really don't have a problem with the shop only aesthetic items, because I still can't, I can still not choose to do crafting. But right, that's the exclusivity thing, where there shouldn't be things on the shop that are just exclusive. But at the same time, there should be quality of life things, even like gear, XP boosts, yada yada, to help, you know, incentivize or motivate players to continue to play. Like, but still all following under the, you know, doing in-game objectives to obtain those things. Like, I don't mind if there are even gear XP boosts. Like, gear, what I think of for gear is like bind on account gear, like your gear that you can put on your low level alts to help the experience grind to level 60 or whatever the max level is a little better. Like, that's even fine if the large majority of the player base is just the max level characters doing stuff. Like, you're trying to get up to that max level as well, right? So make that easier the second go around, because you kind of earned it already the first time. But still not making things exclusive. Even if it is mods and stuff like that, cosmetic items, to harken back to what Two Cats Yelling's point, cosmetics is some of the reasons why people play the game. Like, aesthetics and stuff like that should be treated the same as gear, in-game currency, XP boosts, and everything like that to a certain extent. Arlea says, just got one shot by Shadow Smite. Yike. Oh no. Shadow Smite, is that like in one of the world bosses or something, Arlea? Or is it a raid? Bushrider says, I don't know when Kata was added, but he asked me how I would know. It was an example. Oh, okay. The Asmund Gold thing? Kata was 7 years ago? Two Cat Shelly says, right, Bluestrider 25. That's exactly the point I was making earlier. You're fine with something being in the cash shop as long as it doesn't interest you personally. Let others spend more money just as long as you don't have to. Thanks for proving my point. Okay, so what you mean is like cash shop items should kind of be indifferent to, or the point that you were making was Bluestrider speaking specifically from his own perspective and not from a development like community perspective. So you're holding the view that the things that they implement or shouldn't should rely more on not just a niche genre or audience. It should be more all-encompassing or take more of like the entire player base and game design into play. If I'm understanding you correctly, Two Cats. Two Cats says, I rest my case. Blue Strider says, but if it does, I might buy it. If I purchase things both SOTOR and Wildcat shops for your exact point, it does affect me. If it does, I might buy it. So if it does, I don't know when Kata was added, but he asked me how. If what does? If it does, you might buy it. You purchase the things for both SOTOR and Wildcat shops for your exact point. It does affect me. Right, but what Two Cats Yelling is saying is like, their point is things that aren't just affecting you, but the things that affect the larger majority of the player base. Like, I'm kind of getting lost though. To clarify it one more time, have stuff in the cash shop, aesthetic or otherwise, but allow it to be acquired in-game, as well as for those who prefer to attain it in that way, or whom didn't have the extra funds to spend on it. Yeah, there's definitely a balance. Like, things should be obtainable in-game, period. Like, whatever's in the game, you should be able to obtain in the game, period. But to the person who earns an income enough to where they can have enough to just purchase items in the game, like, that should be available as well. So you're not arguing against like limiting what you can buy with the cash shop, but what you're arguing against is, again, the exclusivity aspect, right? You just don't want things to only be obtainable with IRL money. But for what Blue Strider's saying, like, you're not arguing the opposite, right? You're not saying that things should only be purchasable in the cash shop. What Blue Strider's saying is he doesn't like if there's only specific things purchasable in the gift shop. That, well, I'm not really getting Blue Strider's side. Like, what you're saying is don't limit what you can purchase in the cash shop, or what? Two Cassielli says, now you're backpedaling. You made your perspective abundantly clear. Don't cower away from it now. Stand behind it. Stand behind what? Like, I'm not getting what Blue Strider's saying. Shadow Smite says is a skill. Oh, Shadow Smite is a skill? So somebody Shadow Smited you and they, like, one-shot you? Youch. Tukashelli says, you're projecting and making sweeping assumptions about the entire demographic of players you don't represent, and clearly know nothing about, so you should just stop. Aurelea says the PTSD is real. Backpedaling from what, though? Like, Blue Strider says, I'm not backpedaling. This whole debate was if cash shops should be allowed. Oh. And your point is only attainable. It is only if it's attainable in game. Right. So cash shops are unfortunately a reality. So whether or not they're allowed, I think is moot, because they are. Like, there's no point in debating on whether or not they should be allowed if they already are. But like what Two Cats was saying was whether or not certain specific items should only be attainable in the cash shop. And your point is only if it's attainable in game, right? So anything in the cash shop should be attainable in the game. So then, by your argument, then crafting items should be able to be purchased in the cash shop. Not just crafting items. Maybe there are crafting items that should be obtainable in the cash shop, but that depends on game design, I would imagine. Like, what you put in the cash shop. Two Catch Ellie says, speaking about the topic at large, but only from their own personal perspective, failing to understand that there are many, many others who do not share the same point of view. I can kind of see what you're saying, Two Cats Yelling. Like, if you're speaking from only one perspective, then you're speaking from a my side or my team versus your side or your team point of view. When it should be really about, like, what affects everybody or the larger player base or community as a whole. Two Cat Shelly says, there shouldn't be exclusivity. Everyone is playing the game. Everyone should be able to access what the game has to offer, whatever means they prefer or have. I agree. Exclusivity, like, that's kind of what turned me off to Fortnite. There's this exclusivity with Fortnite, and this is maybe off tangent a little bit, but one of the main reasons why I still don't play Fortnite is the fact that there exists exclusivity in skins and items and stuff like that that are no longer obtainable. And it's just whoever played the game first or at the very start or the beginning are the people who own that. And that's still kind of true in World of Warcraft. Like, there are those striped Bengal tiger mounts or the spectral saber mounts. And I'm not sure if those are even still obtainable, but there are certain mounts, I think specifically, like an albino white raptor, that are no longer in the game, but there is one or two people who have that mount from back then. Like, those type of things shouldn't exist. But at the same time, like, I don't know, that was kind of the appeal of those items, was the fact that you got those and nobody else could get them. What people don't want is to have extra money to spend on those cash shop exclusive cosmetic items. Screw them. They can just go without? Okay, Two Cats Yelling, what are you saying here? There shouldn't be exclusivity. Everyone is playing the game. Everyone should have access to what the game offers, whatever means they prefer or have. I agree. What about the people who don't have extra money to spend on those cash shop exclusive items? Screw them and they can just go without? Yeah, I agree. Like, that should not be the case. Two Cat Shelly says, because otherwise Blue Strider 25 will call them OCD completionists. Oh, okay. Two Cat Shelly says, dude, get over yourself. let's try to keep it let's keep it reeled in a little bit. Two Cat Shelly. Two Cat Shelly says, correct. Blue Strider says, no exclusivity. That would kill rating because what's the point? Okay, no exclusivity. That would kill rating because what's the point? What do you mean by that? Everybody in the game can raid. Like, raiding isn't an exclusivity thing. Two Cat Shelly says, he literally said there should be exclusivity. At what point did he say that? I mean, he's probably suggesting it in something he said, but I don't know if he framed it properly, or what exactly was said that made him suggest there should be exclusivity. Two Cat Shelly said, you literally just said the opposite. Do you even know what your argument is anymore? Earlier he was saying whether or not cash shops should be available, which I didn't think was like what y'all were talking about, because cash shop is available. cash shops should be limited only to cosmetics. So plain and simple, Blue Strider saying cash shops should be only limited to cosmetics. And what Two Cats Yelling is saying in answer to that is that's the end game for people. And so many different MMOs, cosmetics equals end game. And that should not be an exclusive to the cash shop thing. And even if it is, even if cosmetics is exclusive only to the cash shop, then cosmetics should still be attainable by means of in-game. Like, you shouldn't just have to pay, you know, IRL currency to obtain these cosmetics. But I don't think that the cash shop should be limited to just cosmetics. So I would kind of agree to disagree on that, because I think that just like cosmetics are available in the or should be available in the item shop, also the gear, the XP, like all that stuff should be available as well. Ideally, but I mean, then it's like you could do what you want to obtain what you like, because as long as like there's a way to get a currency to purchase items from the cash shop in the game by just doing what you like to do in the game. Say I'm a PvPer. If every time I do PvP or a certain higher level of PvP, I get some semblance of the currency that I need to obtain the cash shop items, I'd be happy with that. I'd be happy with like being able to buy stuff in the cash shop, just doing PvP. But the same as a raider. Like if I'm raiding, if I can get some semblance of cash shop currency from raiding, that would be ideal. Because like the PvPer, I also just want to play the part of the game I enjoy to purchase from the cash shop. So that's kind of where I'm leaning, or what I'm suggesting. But Blue Strider says only cosmetics. Cosmetics should be the only thing available in the cash shop. Blue Strider said, I said by your argument, not mine. Oh, okay, my bad. So you're saying that Two Cat Yelling is saying that only cosmetics should be in the cash shop? Two Cat Yelling says, and we're back to only cosmetics again. Two Cat Yelling says, I'm not talking about exclusivity. I never suggested exclusivity. Right, but what you were saying was Blue Strider was suggesting exclusivity. And I was agreeing that exclusivity should not be a thing in game design. Blue Strider 25 says, some people grind after gear and crafting for exclusivity of the items that they can get from these aspects. Maybe. I mean, that's, I guess, that's kind of, maybe that would be something true for you, but I don't think you can say for other people what they do, Blue Strider. Like, you can't say that that's what some people do, I guess. Two Cat Jelly says, now, at Blue Strider 25 is trying to twist my words and put words in my mouth. Can't make a cogent argument, my bad, by actually addressing what I'm saying. So let's start straw manning. Awesome. Well done at Blue Strider 25. I really hope I'm not failing you two in y'all's conversation by trying to understand what's being said here. I feel like maybe while I'm trying to clarify, I'm probably putting words. I hope this isn't my doing here. I'm simply saying if there's something available in the cash shop, it should also become available by playing the game. Correct. We've clarified that many times. That's what you're saying, Two Cat Jelly. And at Blue Strider, he's trying to twist my words around to make it sound like I'm saying crafted stuff, etc. should be available in the cash shop, which is the reverse of what I'm saying. They don't actually have a counter argument, so they're just straw manning me at this point. The debate is over. Tiny URL AASA bug free mount. There's a free mount at this link. Copy. Araleo with a little refreshing palette cleanser. I'm going to check that link out in a minute. Just let me get the browser up. Is there sound in background? I wish I could. Crafted items are already available in-game. This is Two Cats Yelling saying, either through crafting or through buying them from the others with in-game currency. There's no reason to put them in the cash shop. Okay. Which is why I never made that argument. Blue Strider says, well, you said the debate's over and still keep going. I stopped like 2 minutes ago. Two Cat Shelly says, it's called a closing point. Blue Strider says, not everyone can down the last mythic bosses. mythic bosses are specifically WoW. I think Two Cat Chilling is speaking from ArcheAge, but maybe Final Fantasy 11 and the other games you mentioned earlier. Two Cat Chilling, I forget. Two Cat Chilling says, but let's take a petty pot shot now. Pathetic, Blue Strider. Blue Strider says, no matter how much you try to raid, they can't finish and raid on certain difficulties, and in the final tier, they drop mounts off the last bosses. Oh, really? Is that the case? So, in WoW, the last bosses are dropping mounts? It seems like Two Cat Chilling says, okay, sorry for getting salty in your stream. I just don't like whenever I'm making a very clear argument for something, and someone else tries to twist my words into something I didn't say so they can debate a straw man. I hear you, Two Cat Chilling. It may have, like, I really, honestly, I hope I didn't mess up y'all's communication by trying to narrate, but I am very interested in this conversation or this topic, because I care about it too. Like, I have my own points of view. I made them heard, but y'all didn't seem too concerned with what I was saying. Y'all seem more focused on each other. I know Elude Stalwart. I keep saying it, but it keeps going over Blue Strider's head, or they just keep ignoring it. Even everyone else who was trying to make a dishonest rebuttal understood me for the first time. Okay. Well, I appreciate both of y'all's point of view. I'm glad we could facilitate that back and forth. To what extent there was a back and forth. But, I think both of you kind of had good points, and I think maybe, hold on. They drop exclusive tier in Final Fantasy 14. And, okay. So you're still talking about exclusivity, Blue Strider. But pertaining to what? You're just saying that exclusivity exists in MMOs? Or you're just mentioning exclusivity to prove what point? Two Cat Shelly says, see, this is why you're getting confused in the discussion, Elude Stalwart. My entire argument begins and ends with items sold in the cash shop should not only be in the cash shop, including cosmetics, because cosmetics are as much content as some as raiding or questing are for others. That's all my argument's been. Certain other people want to keep twisting it into something else. Well, maybe they are, but maybe I'm misrepresenting what he's trying to say. Blue Strider says, no, I was responding to your only WoW drops things in the highest difficulty. I'm not talking about exclusivity. Oh, okay, my bad. It's a little confusing for me because it seems like y'all are talking about two different things now. But I thought y'all were still talking to each other. So that's my fault. And I hope I didn't do that very often back then whenever y'all were going back and forth. But, I mean, just in both of your defense, I could have been misrepresenting what y'all were trying to say. Because y'all were flying off the chat like 200 words per minute typing, and I was just reading, trying to catch up to the conversation. But this is interesting. I love this. Like, what y'all were just talking about. I would love for that to be like an audio cast type thing. I mean, as long as you could keep the insults or snarky comments to a minimum, I think that would be very interesting to have a segment or episode about. Two Cats yelling, you make a lot of good points. And Blue Strider as well, like, I like when there's friction. Like, when there's a back and forth, I think that there's things that are being solved. But if y'all are just saying the same thing and agreeing with each other, it's a lot less interesting. But this is also all around MMOs. Like, this is what we care about. This is, like, how we choose to spend our free time. So, I mean, more power to you if you start getting, like, passionate about what you're saying. Like, I enjoy that. Like, y'all got me fired up now. Okay, Two Cats Ellie says, if something's already attainable or doable in-game via gameplay, then it's a non-issue because it's already attainable in-game. Agree. But yeah, trying to keep up with so much back and forth while playing a game isn't that easy. Yeah, I literally stood there AFK in the garden trying to keep up. Blue Shire says, I don't care one way or the other about exclusivity if there's incentive to the other raid. To either raid, craft, or buy in-game cash shop items. That makes me want to play more than I'm all for it. Right on. But once cash shop includes items that affect gameplay, that's pushing the limits. I mean, isn't that the point of the cash shop though? To affect gameplay? To allow you to buy or purchase the things to shortcut your way to the things you care about a little bit. Whether it's like instead of crafting an entire gear set, you buy an entire gear set for mods. Like maybe there's a, you know, dyes or something like that. Whereas like in game you could go and level up the profession that dyes items, or you could just buy the dye items. I don't know. But I mean, there wouldn't be incentive to buy things unless they mattered in game. To be honest, you're one of the few streamers I see who would even try. Oh, who would even try to keep up the... It's because I care about that stuff. Like, it matters to me. I don't know. Depends on the publisher, though, says Blue Strider. Because it's only cosmetic and dyes, then that's only for the population to a particular artist, the RPer, or audience. So, yeah, I get that. If it's only cosmetic, then it only applies to RPers. But I think a good cash shop has something for everybody. Let's see what this one has. They have featured Brave Bison Cake. See, and this is another thing, is like, by the time the cash shop matters, you already have like a max level character in the game. Because I'm looking at this now and I don't even know like what's even good. And I don't think anybody that is willing to spend their cash shop currency should spend anything on the cash shop until they understand like whether or not this crate here is actually better than this crate here. You have to have some familiarity with the game for that to even begin to matter. Pink Rose said, "Ree!" Pink Rose. Toucan Jelly says, and RPers are just as much players as anyone else. Yes, they are. They make up a large majority of the game population as anybody else. Everyone, I mean, the RPers too, they're fun to group with. Like, as long as... the thing about RPers is like, it's like Groundhog's Day. It's like, if the groundhog sees his shadow, he ducks and covers, he hides. But I think a lot of the times if the RPer comes out and they're doing the RP thing and you don't like talk shit to them or something like that, and they continue to RP, like that just makes the whole run more interesting. Like I get into RP, but I have my own style. Like I'll do emotes in dungeons and stuff like that. And that's about the extent of my RP. Like sometimes I'll talk in RP, but it's always playfully and not consistent. But like I think running with an RP can just an RP player can make the game even more immersive and even more enjoyable. So anything that motivates or incentivizes them folks to continue to RP and play the game how they enjoy it, I think is a good thing. And I mean good for raiders, good for PvPers, good for the entire community. Bushire says, I don't disagree with that, but what if someone wants to make a level 10 and just run around in something cosmetic? Good luck getting anything decent in cosmetics at level 10. I think they'd probably see the first person they saw wearing a level 50 cosmetic item would light a fire in them to make them want to level. That was so much of Vanilla WoW I remember back in the day in Orgrimmar, seeing all the max level characters just geared in all their uber gear and legendariness, just watching them run around in Orgrimmar, actually having matching gear and not knowing that like the matching gear could like back in WoW they had the set items back in the vanilla land, and when you got your set items it was all matching pieces of gear. But also, as you were leveling, there were matching pieces of gear that didn't necessarily have stats that were even useful for you. Like, I remember this of the... I forget what the name of the set was, but I was wearing, like, different versions of the same green. Let's say it was just like this set. Say it was, like, the rainbow leather set. Now, the rainbow leather set would have of the falcon, or of the bear, or of stamina, or of intellect. So it'd be like rainbow leather of the falcon. So what I would do is I'd wear the full leather set, or the full rainbow falcon set, or rainbow leather set rather, and I would wear all the wrong stats just so my character would match. So I'd be like a caster, a paladin, or a priest running around in strength gear, in agility gear, and like all I would be doing was be upping my melee attack power and increasing my melee crit chance. Whereas for like a caster, like I want mana and I want spell crit. And I didn't understand that. I thought that if the gear matched, then I was doing good. So much of my vanilla experience was leveling so inefficiently, dying so many different times, but I loved the way my character looked, so I kept logging in because he looked like a badass. He was wearing like all this red gear. And even for somebody who cares less about that stuff, it still matters to a certain extent, like how your character looks. Two Cat Jelly says, weird, I didn't even see Rose's message show up. Pink Rose is on YouTube. I stream on Twitch and YouTube, so you didn't see Pink Rose because that was a YouTube comment. Blue Strider says, they may not actually want to play they may not want to actually play to also level. May not, but then you're saying then they have to level so they can start cosmeticing. What do you mean? I don't understand. What I was saying is that level 10 cosmetics are few and far between in most MMOs. But I guess in ArcheAge here, like I'm not even level 10 and I got the cosmetics between this gear here and the civilian set here. And I think I could actually even make that civilian set a cosmetic appearance. Somehow. Wardrobe. Yeah, there's a way to wardrobe and look like this civilian set. So yeah, there is that. There is cosmetics. And maybe I don't want to level. Maybe I just want to walk around in my low B cosmetics and RP with people. But the moment I see another player like in ArcheAge specifically, there are these teddy bear and panda looking people running around. Like the moment I see that, I'm like, how do I get that? What do I have to do? Oh, I got to level. Well, now I have incentive to level. Two Cat Jelly says, in chat, saw it on screen. Yeah, YouTube comments will post on screen as well. So those of you watching Twitch or YouTube can see the conversation still going. At a delay, unfortunately, but you'll still see. Blue Strider says he's on YouTube at Two Cat Jelly. Right on. Two Cat Jelly says, oh, FFS, just stop already, Blue Strider. I've literally repeated myself 3 times in a row. I think Blue Strider was talking to me, Two Cat Jelly, about cosmetics. Or maybe I misread, I'm not sure. Two Cat Jelly says, but I'll say one more time just for you, Blue Strider. I'll even type it more slowly so you can keep up. Come on, Two Cats. Don't be snarky. Blue Strider says, I didn't mean to, lol. I was responding to your direct statement. Two Cat Jelly says, I'm okay with cosmetics being sold in the cash shop. Now pay attention to this part because this is where you keep missing. As long as it's also available in-game for those who would rather pay and attain it that way. Understood? Or do I need to bring it down to a 3rd grade level? Okay, Two Cats. I'm going to give you a pass there because I said not to be snarky before I read that comment. Like, I'm a few minutes behind. I'm reading this at 8:57 and it's 9:01. So snarky comments after 9:01 are going to be a no-go. Aralea says, I've been in the same raid for nearly 5 hours. I've been in the same zone for nearly 5 hours, I think. Blue Strider says, I understand what you're saying, lol. Whether, quote-unquote, if the game shop could be gathered in-game, I never once said that it shouldn't be. You compared something to in crafting. I don't mind if cash shop items can be attainable in-game. But I like cosmetics that are exclusive in-game cash shops. So you like the cosmetics that are exclusive to the cash shop? If I'm understanding correctly, Blue Strider? And that's what Two Cats Yelling is arguing against. He thinks that cash shops shouldn't have anything exclusive. Like, everything should be attainable in-game somehow. Arlea says, Yada costumes, you mean? Yeah, the ones with the bears and the pandas and stuff like that. Yeah, those are the Yada costumes. Yeah, those are cool. Blue Strider says, meaning I am the target audience that usually fail and spend money. Well, I don't understand what failing has to do with spending money, especially if it's like an exclusive in-game cash shop item. Or are you saying since you fail at in-game mechanics, you would prefer that there would be something? Okay, so let me see if I can frame this properly from your perspective, Blue Strider. What you say, and tell me if I'm getting this wrong, is there is a certain part of the game that a large or a portion of the player base will not see, i.e. mythic level rating or like in-game PvP, in-game even crafting, or in-game like just dungeons and stuff like that, because they just don't have the skill set. Like that part of the game is not available to them in that sense, but in reality, like subtext, it actually is. They just have to learn to get to where they can encounter or experience that, or have like somebody carry them or something like that. Like it is feasible for them to get to that if they just, you know, get enough skill or get enough friends or whatever. Like, but what you're saying is they might not ever see it because they don't have the skill or they don't play at that level. So, since that's the case, what you're saying is you should have a part of the cosmetics in the cash shop available to you, or people that are into cosmetics should have cash shop exclusive items available to them. And is that what you mean, or like I'm not, or does that make sense? I'm not sure. Like I don't know. Just to clarify, Blue Strider says right at Arlea the Yada costumes. Arlea says that Blue Strider what? Blue Strider says, I thought you meant that that was at me about costumes. Oh, no. Arlea was replying to what I was talking about with the bear and the panda costumes. Two Cats Jelly says, oh, at Blue Strider 25, can continue to twist my words and misrepresent. How is he twisting your words? But I'm supposed to be completely polite. Got it. I don't think he is twisting your words. I'm not trying to I'm not ganging up on you, Two Cat Jelly, but you should be polite. Picro said, "Ree, moo." Picro. Two Cat Jelly says, no playing favorites in this stream. Blue Strider says, at the Loot Stalwart, I was just saying I shell out money sometimes for costumes. And Arlea says, yeah, no favorites. Well, Blue Strider is my cousin, so, you know, all things told, he is family. Arlea says, not sure why it has to be said, but not allowed. Blue Strider says, he's being polite. I haven't taken offense to anything. I'm just trying to make sure that we keep the snarkiness to a minimum. I don't want anybody getting their feelings hurt. And I'm not sure if Blue Strider is twisting your words, but from what I can see, I haven't seen any word twisting intentionally going on. But I don't know. Like, it could be I may be playing favorites, though. Blue Strider says, Two Cat Shillings. I made this debate with the Loot Stalwart all the time as well. Oh yeah, Blue Strider and I, we go back and forth a lot about some stuff. If you care to see any of that, it's called Cuz Chats. There's Cuz Chats on the Elude Stalwart channel, where it's just this, me and Blue Strider going back and forth. We're on voice though. So a lot of the times we're talking about something and I don't know what it is. I'll be arguing apples and he'll be arguing oranges. And sometimes we start arguing oranges and tangerines, where it's like we're saying the same thing, but we're saying it in a different way back and forth to each other and not really getting anywhere. So I can see how you get tangled with between, like, you know, honestly, from speaking on the other side of debates with Blue Strider, me and him get in this, I call it semantics, where we're just arguing semantics and we're not actually arguing what the point of our conversation is. But I don't know. I get tangled a lot talking to Blue Strider as well, though.
Vas a meter la pata
Hey,
otra
Miss
vez.
What?
You will put your foot in your mouth again.
I do often. I'm a human being that does.
I know, but
Some antics, yeah. I think I've already chased the Two Cats yelling away because I was telling him to be polite. Okay, so
Dreamt something so different from you.
on the ArcheAge side of things, we're still trying to get our stabilizer
Had to be a
fixed.
damage stabilizer. You thought
What's
it
up,
was
son?
getting worse, in addition to throbbing when you thought too hard.
Okay. Carspray Jackwheel says hi.
You would never
He's
have
my
a
son. He's
dream.
asking for a shout out. So shout out to
What you
Carspray
dreamt
Jackwheel.
felt like another memory.
He's also a
Bubbling up
YouTuber.
as
He
a
does
constant
Minecraft
reminder.
videos and stuff.
You couldn't prove it, of course, but it felt just as real as the dream of blood. And it certainly caused
So this lady on the throne is the one that created the warboard.
hearing your own mother refer to you as a
Hey,
tool, a
where's
sword
the
unworthy
table
of a
for
factional
us?
brother.
Uh-oh, sounds like I'm rebelling.
It was devastating, although not so devastating as the hallucinations. You'd realized almost immediately the ghost of the Esmond
Arlea
King
says
was
she
visiting
brought
no
them
one
back
else
from
could see.
extinction. So they existed before her, but
However, you weren't sure if that
she
meant
brought
her.
them back
On one
from the
hand,
brink
they
of
weren't really
extinction.
being haunted.
What, to enslave them? Does she have anything to do with enslaving
But
them?
on the other, the king's word
Pink
was
Rose says,
true.
hi, Jackwheel.
They cut especially deep because you were saying
He says
so
hi back.
yourself.
Arlea says exactly. She used
Your
them.
stabilizer
Dirty.
thrived again. Your only hope was to have it repaired, and soon.
Why do I want it repaired? Why not just go savage mode all the time? What's so bad about being in the immortal beast mode? They were just pawns to her. Am I like more susceptible to her control if I go back into the immortal beast mode? Oh look, it's Mirage Island. I think this is the major city. No. This is like the mall, right? This is where you can go buy cars and houses and gliders and stuff. Put your link in the description. Okay. Give me a second. I gotta look up your channel. Carspray Jackwheel. Little shameless plug here to my son's channel. Here's the Transformers. He does Transformers videos as well. I help him out with those. But, oh, it's so loud. Give me a second. I'm going to link my son's channel in the chat here. Alright, so Carspray Jackwheel can be found here for anybody that has maybe like a younger audience out there. Like I know I got kids, like maybe y'all got kids or y'all have like a nephew or something that likes Transformers and Minecraft videos. That's my son. He's 10 years old. Mirage Isle. Okay, so this is where we purchase house, ships, mounts, gliders, and more. I thought this was the major city initially. I don't think there's anything that I can do or get into out here, so I'm probably going to port back. But something else to note about this place is that it's cross-faction. So I think this is the faction that Arlea belongs to, the Nuia Alliance. Right? Was that what you were saying before? Pink Rose says, I already subbed to Jackwheel. You got a subscriber, son. Thanks, Pink Rose. Arlea says, yes! Right on. Well, he's getting up. The wife's home. I need to eat breakfast. So I think with that, we're going to wrap up today's episode of Elude Stalwart playing ArcheAge. And the debate has closed between Blue Strider and Two Cats Yelling. I appreciate you guys with y'all's back and forth. I think we learned something, question mark. I think I learned something. But, yeah, I mean, these are important things. They're part of the game, and they affect how we play the game, so they should be discussed, but politely. So I think with that, we're going to wrap up today's episode. Until next time, bye! See you later, guys! Thanks for tuning in. Peace.
What are you playing?